New Springs, hello. It's Gavin again, bringing you another episode of Everyday Gospel. We got another familiar face for you guys. It's Terasia. Hello, Terasia.
Hello, Gavin.
How are you?
I'm doing well. How is the family?
We're good. We're good.
Good.
So what we're doing here, we're trying to encourage people just with little stories of everyday life, of what everyone's been doing, and probably not everybody knows what you do for work and how life is going for you and Don. And so I did want to share with everyone, we launched our church back in March of 2019. So it's a little bit over a year ago now. And I met Don and Terasia for the first time on that day, the day that we launched our church. And they stayed after, and they were a warm couple, nice couple. And we've gotten to know them over the last year, and both of them have served in large capacities to help our church. So I wanted to be able to talk a little bit about that with Terasia. What brought you guys over to New Springs that first Sunday?
Well, Dawn and I actually used to attend a church, a Presbyterian church, and we were there for 15 years. And then the Lord called us to move on. It was time to move on. Okay. And we are friends with a pastor at Spanish River Church, Tim Torres.
That's my guy.
And and we were looking for a new church, and he told us about New Springs. Yeah. And we went to New Springs, and we really liked it, and that's why we're there. We're still there. Awesome. We like how it's small and intimate, and yeah, that's what Tim brought us there, and the Lord's keeping us there.
I paid Tim to do that, so that's good that it worked.
Is that how you get members?
Yeah, we pay people to bring people to come.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Not financially responsible, but it brings people. So Terasia, tell us a little bit about what you do for work.
Okay, I work for a large OBGYN practice, and I do all the billing for the practice. Okay. I also jump in here and there, if the doctor needs help, or the front desk, or I kind of have all different hats. But my main job is to do all the billing. And I have been with that practice for probably over a year now. Okay. And during this pandemic, it's been a little crazy because our office is located inside a hospital.
Oh, okay.
And so that's what makes it a little bit more, for lack of a better word, scary.
Yeah.
Because you're entering through the hospital, and there's new guidelines for all the employees, for hospital and for medical office building employees. Yeah. So, babies don't make appointments, so we have to keep going.
Yeah, that's absolutely true.
Yes. Yeah.
Like we just talked with Jacob, who just had the baby during the pandemic. I'm sure, if it was up to them, they would have had the baby before the pandemic.
Yes.
But babies make their own schedule. And so your office is in Hollywood, correct?
We have two offices, one in Hollywood and one in Pembroke Pines. I mainly work out of the Pembroke Pines location. Okay. But I do go back and forth once in a while, as needed, basically. Okay. But both locations are inside the hospital.
Okay. And so what's that been like, working inside an office? It's in a hospital. For the vast majority of us, social distancing, we are steering clear of hospitals of any kind for any reason. Because of your job, you're there every single day. So what's that like?
Different. Our schedule has slowed down quite a bit. And that's by patients choosing that. The obstetrical patients have to come in. They must be seen. That's not a choice for them. But the husbands are the ones who are not used to it, because they can't come with their wives for their appointments, and we're only allowing so many patients in the waiting room, and you're not allowed to bring family members, and they have to wait outside. Some husbands understand, some don't. So there's times where it can get a little heated.
Wow.
Yeah. But we're trying to do the best that we can. I mean, we have a patient that's of ours, and they happen to be good friends of ours, and they just found out they were pregnant.
Okay.
And he was hoping to come in to see the ultrasound and everything.
Yeah.
And I told him, I said, I can't, because if you make an exception for one person, then you got to make it for everybody. So what we've been doing in cases like that is one of us from the staff will go into the ultrasound room and we'll FaceTime so that the husband can
Oh, that's
still
good.
be a part of it.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
not there, but they could still be a part of it. So that's something different that we're doing too. Yeah. Yeah. That and a lot of telehealth. That's a new thing now.
What's telehealth?
It's kind of like what we're doing right now.
Okay.
Except the physician, the physician diagnosed you and goes over results with you. Each telehealth visit is screened prior to making the appointment, because if it's something where the doctor still needs to examine you, you still have to come in.
Okay.
But otherwise, telehealth is if I'm going over results with you, or if you just have a simple question or a problem that the doctor doesn't need to examine, we do just like you and I are doing right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, it makes it easier.
That's pretty incredible that they have a way to do a doctor's. I might never go to the doctor again. If I can do it online, that seems like the way to go. If they develop technology to do dentist online, then life is
that'd be
gold.
awesome. That would be awesome.
Wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Well, so how are you doing? How are you doing personally? So both you and your husband are both working. I know that.
Yes.
So what's it like still working through the pandemic and interacting with folks and then coming home?
Okay. I have to say that it's kind of nice because there's no traffic. So that's one blessing.
Yeah.
There's plenty of parking at work in the parking garage. That's another blessing. But actually going out, to work every day, it is kind of different because everybody, I mean, they should, and it's recommended to wear a covering. So you have to kind of get used to this. I personally think is going to be the new normal. Is you're going to have to wear a covering in enclosed type spaces, restaurants, movie theaters. When I ride my bike, I bring a mask. So if someone's walking down the sidewalk, I put my mask on. So, it's different, but it's not like a bad different, it's just things have lightened up, there's nobody out there. So it is making it a little bit less. Even now, if I go to the grocery store on the weekend, it's still light because a lot of people, and believe me, being in the healthcare industry, we appreciate everybody staying home. I know people get stir crazy, but it really helps out a lot by staying home because you're not spreading the virus at all, or taking a chance at doing it, because a lot of people have it and don't even realize it. So it's just been a little bit different, but not in a weird kind of way, so we're doing okay.
That's good.
We're both thankful that we're working, because we know a lot of people who aren't and they're struggling. So the Lord has definitely blessed us being able to go to work every day. And I am very thankful. Well, I mean, since our practice has slowed down quite a bit, I'm very thankful for the physicians I work for, because they actually took a salary cut in order to keep all their employees working.
That's tremendous.
So that was a blessing. Yeah.
That is tremendous.
I'll
tell you what, that's something that I believe, and everybody will, kind of take it differently. But, as Christians in the workplace, in a common situation like this, and I don't know if the physicians, I'm sure not all of them are Christians, but maybe some. Those are the kinds of things that we believe where, Micah 6:8 tells us to do justice and love mercy. If we want to be those kinds of people in the community, you Christians who are listening, if you've got that kind of influence, think long and hard about what God would call you to do, to see to it that those who are kind of put in this predicament, not by choice, no one chose to have coronavirus, reign and lose their job and lose salary as a result, but for those physicians to kind of take a pay cut to make sure that everybody else is taken care of is admirable. Feels Jesus.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that speaks a lot to all of us.
Yeah.
You know, they really do care about their employees.
Yeah. So what's that? What are you guys learning, or you specifically? What do you believe God's teaching you through this?
To definitely rely on Him, because honestly, if I personally didn't have Him as part of my life, I probably would be falling apart. Most likely, I'm just saying that I don't think I'd be as blessed as I am. So it definitely rely on Him. I know that my husband and I have both grown closer to the Lord. We're both faithfully doing Bible studies every morning.
Awesome.
Not together, but we're doing it though. And Donnie actually has a friend of his that they're holding each other accountable about that. I have a couple of girlfriends that I'm doing the same thing. So, I mean, a lot of people definitely in pandemics or any kind of stressful type situations, they always look to God. But I know in my heart that He is there for me.
Yeah.
You know, so I've definitely been relying on Him through this whole situation. And there's a reason for it. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Maybe it is a reason for Him to say to everybody, hey, without me, you have nothing. So who knows?
Yeah.
You know, He definitely, we don't know why He does things, but He does it though.
Yeah.
You know, so, but definitely been relying on Him a lot more than I usually do.
Good.
Yeah.
It's important for us. No, like you said, no one knows on a worldwide level why coronavirus is here. But we do know two things. We know, one, that God is in control. And we know, two, that everything happens for a purpose, not just for a reason arbitrarily. God has a purpose. And what we can do is be reflective of our own lives and ask the question, God, what are you teaching me personally? I don't know what you're teaching the world, but what are you teaching me? And I know one of the things that I've learned personally is that my friends and my family at New Springs Church, you guys are such a blessing to me and my family. We miss you guys a ton. And so my love for you guys, honestly, is elevated because I miss you terribly as a result. So when we get back together, you know, we're not allowed to meet physically. There's gonna be lots of hugs, and I can't wait for that. So
yeah, big celebration.
Big celebration. Big celebration.
Yes, definitely.
How can we be praying for you?
You can actually be praying more for my son.
Okay.
My husband and I, like I said, we're doing well. My son had just started going to college this year, and he actually enjoyed going to college.
Okay.
Now everything is online. So it's taken away from him interacting with other people. So now he's home all the time and he can't go out. So, you know, I would definitely ask for prayer for him.
For sure.
Yeah, because I don't want him to get depressed.
Yeah. Because
that could happen, and that will happen in this pandemic to people.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So he needs it more than we do. Definitely.
Okay. Well, we'll be praying for him for sure. New Springs, I ask you guys to do the same. Lift up Dion, that's his name. Pray for Dion that, you know, he'd be able to find the comfort and encouragement through this. Bless you, baby. That all of us are experiencing.
Yes.
It's a new change, but we're encouraged that God is still sovereign. He's in control, and not just sovereign from a distant standpoint, but He's close to us. He loves us.
Right.
And that's important. Well,
Yes,
Terasia, thank you for taking of your time and
you're welcome.
chatting with me about, you know, normal things for you. They probably feel, you know, somewhat mundane and routine, but I think they're interesting to us. So thanks for sharing that.
Sure. No, thank you for having me.
For sure. Well, we'll talk.
And thank you for your special guest too.
Oh yeah, Giselle. Thank you for being good, baby Zell. Well, Terasia, we love you. Take care.
Love you too. Thank you.
Of course.
All right.